guys, how are you? Welcome to Back to Basics. We're talking about the push-up today. So we are definitely getting down on the ground, not doing anything super strenuous, just going to talk about some of the fundamentals. So push-up is a variation of the plank, which we've definitely gone over and we do a million times. So we're working our triceps, our biceps, and also our chest, our upper back. And it helps include the core as well as some of the legs. So when we do a push-up, we want to make sure that we have our hands right underneath our shoulders. Wider push-ups, which, hand placement is important, but when we change the hand placement outside of right under the shoulders, we start to work in different areas for different muscle groups. And it is very sensitive on the shoulders. So we want to make sure that we have the proper form for the regular push-up first before we start going into variations. So we have our wrists right underneath our shoulders. We're pressing through all of our fingers, and we're also pressing through our shoulder blades. We're picking our feet up, nice plank position, tucking that tailbone and pushing through those heels. When we come down in our push-up, we don't want to come down in like a wave or like our chest first or anything like that. We want to come down as one whole piece, going down and coming back up. So that's why it's important to really have good core control. So we come down, we want to bend those elbows, and they're not going out like this. They're going either behind us or kind of like a 45-degree angle. It's kind of like doing a bench press, but obviously you're on your arms instead of on your back. So when we come down for that push-up, we come all the way down. And we want to keep the neck nice and long and neutral. And then we're just pushing all the way back up. So for the push-up, it's very hard for a lot of people because you need that shoulder mobility. You need that strength in your chest as well, and also that core strength. So the best ways to modify the push-up is obviously we know that we can get on our knees for it. A lot of people try to start here with the push-up in a tabletop position. That is a way you can do it, but it almost gives you like a sort of pike position. So if you can, the best way to do it is to go on your knees and flatten your back. That way you're actually getting a bit more of an accurate or realistic feel, because when you go into that regular push-up, all you should do is have to pick up your legs. So if you're in a tabletop position, if you try to pick up your legs, you're going right into that pike position. So that's why we want to lean those hips forward, keep that back straight, come down, press right up. Because then when you do it for real, you're doing the same movement in the same range of motion. So we have that. We also have our hand release push-up, which is really good because it teaches your body to stay in that straight line. And all you do is release your hands, which kind of gives you a break, and then you can come back up. So the hand release, we're up here. We bring ourselves all the way down. We lift the hands to give ourselves a break, replace the hands right under the shoulders, and then press right up. That gives you the opportunity to sort of rest while you're doing that push-up. The modifications for, well, not the modifications, but the variations, we have the diamond push-up, which is basically when you put your hands like this, you bring them in a little bit closer. That's really going to burn those triceps and really going to help you pump that chest. So those, you come down and you can see the elbows are going out a little bit more than during a normal push-up when they would try to go back. Those are also called your tricep push-ups when your elbows are right next to your ribs, just like that. Those are really popular amongst the fellas, I'd say, because they like to get that good pump with those push-ups. And it varies from men to women because men, they do have they tend to have more the upper body strength than women do. So men are very good at push-ups for the most part, and women sometimes are not as good, but there are women who do amazing push-ups. So don't think that because you're a girl, you're not able to do push-ups. Women can do push-ups too. It's just because of the center of gravity that we have and the way our bodies are created, that kind of gives us a little bit of a disadvantage for push-ups. But trust me, everybody can do push-ups. The one thing is, if you stop doing push-ups, you'll lose it. You have to do push-ups to be good at push-ups. So if you were good at push-ups, last year, and then during quarantine, you just were like, I'm not going to do any push-ups. I'm just going to put the Cheetos in my mouth. Those push-ups, you are going to have to work back up to those push-ups. So it's one of those exercises that your body really has to keep doing in order to stay good. So we have some other variation. We have the wide arm push-ups where our arms would actually go, instead of being under our shoulders, they would be wider, and our elbows would come out a lot more, and that's going to help push our focus on our chest. And then there's obviously the one arm push-up, which I'm not going to attempt because I do not do those. So basically you would put your arm right in the center of your chest instead of having it right under here, so that you can have, it's more of a kickstand, and then you'd come down. There's, jumping push-ups where you push yourself up and clap your hands and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the push-ups. It's a basic movement that you can learn to do at home. You can do elevated push-ups where you have your feet up on something, so you're doing a decline. You can do incline push-ups, wall push-ups. There are push-ups where you do uneven, so you could actually grab a dumbbell and have a dumbbell in one hand and the other hand on the ground, and then do push-ups like that, kind of giving a little bit more of a work for the hand that's on the ground, because you have to go a little bit harder since you're not as elevated. So uneven push-ups are really good to focus on one side a little bit more than the other. And then also putting one hand up at the top for your push-ups, that's going to give you a different effect as well. So you can mess with your hand placement. The only thing is like I said, because it is a shoulder joint exercise, like you're heavy on the shoulder joint, you really want to make sure that you're warmed up before you do any type of these movements, because they really can affect you. I've had a shoulder injury. They are not fun to recover from. They're not fun to have in the first place. So you really want to make sure that joint is lubricated, and that also you are warming up before you start, going super hard into your reps and everything. So we'll do a couple of push-ups, because that's what we're here to do. So we'll do a couple of the variations. I usually do my push-ups on my knees because of my shoulder injury, but if I know I'm only doing a couple of reps, I'll try to do them on my toes, because that doesn't irritate it as much as doing a million on one. So we'll go ahead and do 5 regular push-ups on our toes. And if you'd like, go ahead and try the modification, keeping that back. So I'm not slouching my back here. I'm not just like kind of chilling here like in a cobra position. I'm actively holding my core in, because the next step from here is literally picking my legs up. So go ahead and start in a plank position and then bring those legs down. And that's where you want your hands to be for those push-ups. So we'll go ahead and do 5 push-ups and begin. 1, pushing through all those fingers. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. You can shake your arms out. You can already feel that, like you can feel that right in your shoulders, down your arm into your chest. So our pike push-ups are the ones where we turn our hands sort of inward. So we're normally here. We want to turn them inward. That will push our elbows out a bit, and we'll come up into an inverted V or a downward dog position. And we press our crown of our head down and come back up. So we'll do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. So that's really going to get into the shoulders, really hit those biceps and those triceps. And basically that's what the push-up is. There are many, many different ways that you can incorporate different types of equipment. Like I said, you can incorporate a dumbbell, you can incorporate bands. So if you have, I don't have the loop bands, but you can put the loop bands around you if you have a long enough one, and that will create resistance for you to do your push-ups. So it'll kind of help you so that when you don't have the bands on, you'll be able to push a little bit more. So that's really cool to do when you're doing push-ups. You can also work on your negatives. So going down super slow like that, and then pushing back up to really give that concentric movement some power. When you come back up, you burst the movement by elongating those muscles, but you want to go down nice and slow for a count of 3, and that will activate those muscles a little bit more. So definitely try working on your push-ups. It's a really great exercise. It gets the heart rate up. Even if you're doing them on your knees, it's definitely a movement that is super, everybody knows how to do the push-up, but it's something that's very beneficial for you, because you'll get a total body workout. You'll get a core burn. You'll get burn in your glutes and your legs and everything like that. You just have to really focus on contracting those muscles and pushing yourself, you know, in a push-up. See what I did there? So we'll do some of those slower ones. We'll go down for a count of 3, and then we'll come up for a count of 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Awesome work. Shake those arms out. Those are not fun, but they really help you to create that power. You're going slow down, and then you come back up bursting using those biceps. And then we'll also do some hand release push-ups as well. And you can do these on your knees as well. But I suggest that if you're gonna do the hand release push-ups, do them in a plank position. That way you don't, you're not like kind of double modifying, because the hand release push-up is sort of a modification. So you don't want to put yourself in a double modified hole with the push-up. You either want to do on your knees regular push-ups or do the hand release. So we'll do 5 hand release push-ups here. Up, making sure those glutes are tight and that core is tight as well. Driving with those fingers into the ground, and we're coming down, all the way down. Hands up. Replace the hands. Up. That's 1. Try to bring that whole body up as 1 unit. That's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good job. So now you know the different variations, you know what the different modifications are. So just work with your body, practice them, practice the different variations and see what feels comfortable for you. See which variations you can do more reps of, see which variations feel better when you do less reps. It's not always about going ham and like knocking them out like crazy. Sometimes it is like that, but you really want to be able to get that form, guys. Form is so important. And then also working with your breath while you're doing the movement. If you can't breathe, then your muscles are not going to get the oxygen they need to help you through the workout. So always make sure that you find a rhythm with your breath. That's super important. And breath and form. So we don't want to sacrifice form, because that's what creates the element of injury. So just make sure if you have any issues or any questions, you email us, you let us know. Any perspectives, any information that you think that we should, you know, put out to people. We are always learning. The body is always changing. So this is why we do the work that we do, because everyone has a body and everyone needs to know how to use it and be able to use it. So we appreciate you guys when you give us feedback. And if any of you guys ever want to create a push-up contest, I probably would not be happy about it, but let's do it. That's the only way to get better at them, and the only way to learn. So thank you so much for joining me for this Back to Basics Push-Up Blast. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye.